All right.
to
Hi.
see you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so someone can watch happy for me. Just hold her leash. Hello, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good evening, and we're actually starting really, really on time. Isn't that lovely? Meditators are on time. They're on time. All right. I also wanted to just honor those that came quite early because we also come from Great Falls, so we know what it's like to drive from Virginia to Silver Spring. But I've also come to a foregone conclusion that space and time really doesn't matter if the heart's there. You know, when your heart is into something, I don't care how far I have to climb. It just doesn't matter. But you find that even if I have to walk from here to the end of that room and my heart's not in it, it's like, why don't you come to me? Right? It's like people feel like that. But anyway, glad that you can make the Raj Yoga meditation course. It's nice to see a few friends who are coming to do their refreshers course. That means they've been out there being naughty. And so they just want to come back and try to remember and rekindle. What was it that I was taught? What was it that I knew so well? So it's really going to be my great pleasure to be your instructor for the next 2 weeks. And hopefully I won't get kidnapped by anyone, right? So my name is Jenna, and it's been that name for quite a number of years, over 5 decades, going on 6. Very proud of that. It seems as if the older we get, the smarter we get, right? Do you think so? The older we get, the smarter we get. So even though a lot of us in the world today are waiting for millennials to move us forward and to guide the course of our future, I don't want to give up on us old-timers. You know, the ones who've been there, done it, and have been doing a lot throughout time. It's okay, we might have missed a few things, but that doesn't mean that we can't contribute tremendously as well. So I think it's really important for those of us in our 40s and 50s and 60s to really begin to step up and step in to see what is my role right now? Where is my soul's journey? What's my capacity? What am I here to do? So the Raj Yoga course comes in 6 parts. And each of the classes are about an hour and a half long. Santosh wanted to Facebook Live this so that if you miss anything that I said, you can go back to our Meditation Museum Facebook page and basically try to capture what I said this evening. So first and foremost, I'd like to invite you to silence your phones. You are more than welcome to record whatever I'm saying on your phone. It's fine. It's all free of charge. You're most welcome to have it just to your accessibility if you wish. You're also welcome to share where you are and what you're experiencing while you're here, because I was just sharing with a few earlier on today that a friend of mine sent me a video that was very charged with some racial images and racial comments, and I had to very sweetly say, please don't send me those videos again. They're of no use to me. I'm not going to buy into this whole culture of numbing me and getting me emotionally drained. I know what folks are up to. I know what you're doing, and the more you get us looking at these negative images, the weaker we get, and that's where some people want us to be. And so this course is about stepping us up, really empowering us and making us be able to discern what is useful for I, the soul, versus whatever else is going on around me. Because now we've got to make soul choices. We're going to now have to make choices that are about the peace of my being. It's about the joy of my being. It's about the bliss of my being. It's about the purity of my being. And if we don't choose to take care of the most important tool that we have for our lives, called I, the soul, then don't expect somebody else to do that for you. No one's going to give you your experiences. You're the only one who can give yourself your own experiences. As much as I pinch you, if I pinch you and I ask you how it felt, you can tell me it just doesn't feel good, but I have no idea what you're feeling. You know, I have an idea, but I don't really have an idea of really how badly it hurts. And so we are the ones that gain our own experiences. And so we have to be the ones that make the right choices. So first and foremost, why don't we take a few moments and just sit up and be very still for like 30 seconds. And let's see what happens with our thoughts in 30 seconds. Sit up really still, make sure your back's on the chair. And I recommend not developing a habit of slouching or being too physically comfortable in the yoga. The only reason why I recommend that is because your energies, as it flows through your body, if you're pretty much straight up and disciplined, that energy will go directly to the soul, which is what today's course will be all about. The more energy you can get inside of you, the soul, the more powerful you can be. And when you're powerful, you will make choices that will sustain your power, not deplete your power. When you start to fluctuate between your power and your weakness, you will find yourself feeling very powerful at times and also very weak at other times. The aim of Raja Yoga meditation is to actually get you to a state that you can maintain and sustain power. Even if you lose a little bit of it, that's okay. You're still in your state of power. And so that's what you're going to get out of these courses for the next 2 weeks. I'll give you tools, I'll share with you concepts and ideas and give you homework assignments, but I'm really going to be very serious with you and very sincere. We really don't want you to take your time and come here if you're not serious about your change. People who come here to study and do advanced studies of the meditation course better be serious. If they're not going to like it here. They're just not going to enjoy being here. Because if you come here and you're a player and you're just passing through, you're going to look at what's wrong with everybody, you're going to make judgments, you're going to criticize, and that's all your sign to say, I'm not serious about me, so why are you coming here? So this is an invitation for you to just be aware. We want people who are very sincere about their transformation, who are very committed about their spiritual evolution. That's what this Raja Yoga course is about. Okay? So as you sit up straight, I want you to take a really deep breath. Deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Look at the image behind my back here. Focus on the light as it just goes in and out as if it's radiating a sort of a vibrational force inward and outward. It's as if you're breathing. You're just breathing and you're flowing in your breath. Every breath that you're taking, add a virtue to it. You breathe in, I'm in peace. You breathe out, I'm in love. You breathe in, I am pure, I'm in purity. You breathe out, I am in joy. Imagine every breath you take in and out has a virtue or a quality connected to it. Wouldn't that be fascinating? When you practice to do that, you're actually living a life of enlightenment. When you practice thinking more about the peace that you are and the purity that you are living a life of spirituality. You're living a life of a Raj Yogi. You're living a life of being absolutely elevated and awakened. Keep breathing in and out. Pick a virtue, whether it's royalty, cheerfulness, breathe it out. I can breathe in royalty and I can breathe out introspection. You can breathe in determination and breathe out cheerfulness. Breathe in respect. Breathe out acceptance. Observe how this habit can flow in and out of you as you watch the significance of every breath that you take. How powerful it is to value every breath that you take. Take a deep breath in and out and invite your stillness to be present. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. It helps me to kind of figure out where you all are, and I can see that you're all here for the right reasons. The vibrations that you've just created were very, very powerful. Just to do a little bit of homework, or just logistics rather. Some of you might be here for the first time, so very warm welcome. We're so happy that you finally made it after us being in the community for 20 years. And the Meditation Museum is ran by a nonprofit called the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual Organization. If you haven't heard of the Brahma Kumaris, I invite you to really check us out on our meditationmuseum.org website. It's been in existence for over 83 years, and it was founded by the download of one man that had a very deep awakening, and he had no idea what he was going to do with his awakening. But one thing was for sure, people who knew him at that time, his name was Brahma Baba, they looked at him and saw something was different, that something had woken up in him. And those individuals wanted a piece of that experience. Example, if you meet someone right now in today's society that just seems a little bit special, like they have a little bit of extra something good, it is only your goodness in you that will say, I want a little bit of that. Can you show me? Can you guide me? And so just imagine in the 30s that actually happening in Pakistan. And one of the intriguing group of individuals that were so enamored by him were women. And these women wanted to find a way in how do I capture the light that I'm seeing in you? So in the first few years, 300 folks moved into his home. And for 14 years, they lived as complete renunciates of the world, trying to understand what is soul, what is God, what is the philosophy of karma? Have I been here before? Why are we here? Are we really all connected, or is it a farce? And so what happened after 14 years, there was a very deep realization in which it felt like we don't need to be here just living here on the mountaintop away from the world. So they went out. They went out. And from one branch in Pakistan in the 30s, we've now grown to 9,000 branches in 120 countries with 1 million volunteers, which means 1 million students who were sincerely practicing Raja Yoga meditation to see if they can raise their vibration and keep it raised as a community. So that's the energy that you're in. And we are really, really happy that you chose to be here in the energy of the Brahma Kumaris. We really take the work that we do very seriously. We're very, very driven, we're very educated, we're very focused, but we're also very caring and very generous in order to just help humanity to shine a little bit more. Many of us do this because of our own experiences, not because we're forced. We don't have a doctrine, we don't have a guru, we don't have a book, we don't have a scripture. We show up here because we have been experiencing so much enlightenment that it will be a shame for us to just keep it to ourselves. And that's why many of us end up to be teachers and educators of the Brahma Kumari movement. So again, thank you. Please sign up, learn more about us. The next 6 lessons that we're going to do, which will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, will be for 2 weeks. I please, please, please invite you to come on time. Feel free to take advantage of sitting in the quiet room if you come a little bit early. Walk around, look at some of the installations, and just ponder on them. You're in another world here. I'm sure that you can feel it just sitting here for even the first 5 minutes. This is no longer Silver Spring, Maryland. This is another world. Got it? You feel good? So now that I've done all of that good stuff, turn to the person in front of you, next to you, just in case there's an emergency and you can grab their hands and you know them. Just say hi to the person next to you and tell them, I'm so glad that we're doing this together. That's so wonderful. So it's good, because what happens, right? They say one of the most antisocial places in the universe is an elevator. Did you know that? Can you believe it? I mean, you're in an elevator, and now I just don't stand in an elevator and act like I don't know you. I go, how are you? Good, good. Just in case I need you in a state of emergency. I just want to know you at least because you feel a little bit more safer. So you'll hear a lot of us when you're in the Meditation Museum or anytime you visit any of the BK centers, you will hear us always greeting you with this mantra. How many of you have heard this mantra before? Om Shanti. Can you say it for me? Om Shanti. One more time. Om Shanti. One more time. Oh, say that again. Wow, do you hear that? Om. That is amazing. So that Om is actually a universal sound. And you might have heard about it from a lot of Indians and folks that are practicing Hinduism, but it's actually a universal sound. Om. They say when you go far, far, far beyond into the universe actually sounds like this gentle murmur. Om. Isn't that interesting? So just imagine that Om means I am. And Shanti means peace. Isn't that wonderful? For us to be able to turn on CNN or Fox and go, I'm peaceful. You know? And that whatever's coming through those fibers, it's like it's not affecting my peace. I'm peaceful. I'm at peace. What's it like to drive on 495 and somebody cuts you off, or the truck driver just doesn't care because he's bigger than you are, and you get into all these vibrations and he does something and people are swerving in and out, or someone's driving really, really slow in the speed lane? You can still be Om Shanti, right? What's it like when your partner tells you, oh, it's not you, it's really me, but you found out that they had somebody else? You go Om Shanti. What's it like when your husband just doesn't understand what you're going through as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter-in-law, or whatever it might be, that he just doesn't feel you, he doesn't understand your sensitive needs, and you're feeling quite distressed? What you have to do is Om Shanti. What happens when your teenage son or teenage daughter isn't really paying attention to the fact that they're still young and they still need to be guided, especially those under 18 who feel they're grown and you don't have to tell me what to do, and then you find your mouth coming out like you start to say something you thought you'd never say as a parent. I pay the bills in this house, right? You say Om Shanti. You get it? You got to say Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Because there's something happening outside of you that you can't seem to control. And when we start to feel like we're losing control, we lose our Shanti. And when we lose our Shanti, we start to become peaceless. And when we're peaceless, we share our peacelessness with each other. And then if we find a lot of individuals in the state of peacelessness and we're all feeling like we're in the same tribal connection, we feel comfortable. So that means we have no one to give us an example of how to be a better version of ourselves anymore, because we're too comfortable with the negative. This course is about getting out of being comfortable with being negative. Got it? All right. You with me? Got your pen and paper? Feel free to take notes. So when we look at ourselves as being peaceful souls, it's important that you look behind your eyes. In Raj Yoga meditation, we talk a lot about the energy of the soul. And a lot of people in mystical teachings and evolutionary teachings and illuminaries and folks that are just on the journey, they really talk a lot about the soul. We are living energies. We are the Ruh, the spirit, the Alma, the light. We are souls. I was at a funeral last week and there was a sweet little sister. She was 93 years old. She was laying in the coffin and she looked like an angel, but she wasn't speaking anymore and she wasn't moving and she wasn't laughing and she wasn't talking. It was like a car without a driver in a parking lot. All I was looking at was a car, which is her body. She was parked in this parking lot. She wasn't moving. The driver had left. It was only the car there. But the driver left. So we are souls. We are energies. This is vital that you get that down packed, because To be a very good meditator, you need to have a point of reference. Where do I direct my thinking? Where do I start to think? Where do I start to feel better about myself? Where do I start to create solutions for the direction of my life? Does it make sense? So when we talk about the soul here, we're talking about the living energy that is inside of the body. We are talking about the living energy that is inside of the body. And that living energy, it thinks, it dreams, it has desires, it has wishes, it has goals, it even has expectations, it even has regrets. It has promises, it has disappointments, it has vision, it has love, it has wisdom. All of those experiences are recorded in you, the energy, the soul that you are, that living energy, that being that's sitting looking at me through your eyes. One of the best ways to understand a person is when you give eye-to-eye contact, you start to feel what are the vibrations that comes out of a person. In Indian culture, it's very common for us to arrange our marriages. And what happens is that the two kids will come in a room and they'll meet with the family members, and the family members will observe what's happening in your eyes, but they'll observe the vibrations that are coming through your eyes, so it can determine if this is a good soul or if this soul will give my child problems. Interesting, right? So that means your eyes really are your blueprint. Whatever's coming through your eyes, it's telling the world a whole bunch of things about you. Now, it's not about other people knowing who I am as such. What's really important in this course is about my eyes being pure and powerful for me. So that wherever I go, I bring that energy with me in a room, in a space, in my hellos, in my Om Shantis. Because one of the most important qualities that we can offer each other right now in the 21st century is to leave the legacy of having a good character, a good personality behind. And you don't have to die to do that. You just have to say to the person, goodbye, see you next week. What's the legacy that you're leaving behind? A lot of people talk about leaving a legacy when they die. We talk about leaving a legacy when you say goodbye to somebody, even if you're only going to see them tomorrow. What's the impression that you're leaving behind with another person? Isn't that a nice way to look at your legacy? Yeah? Don't you think that's an important way to look at what legacy you wish to leave behind now? So have this long-term vision for yourself whereby you think about the quality of the vibration that you leave for people when you depart their presence, all right? Because people carry an impression about you in their vibrational field. So I could go to Timbuktu and I could feel maybe you're thinking of me in Washington, D.C., and you're having a beautiful feeling about me, and I'm feeling blessed for no reason. And when people have negative thoughts about me, I'm wondering, why did I wake up so miserable today? Nobody bothered me. It could be, I'm not saying that it's a fact, but if there are a lot of people having negative thoughts about you, I can guarantee it, you're not sleeping very well at nights. It's not easy. Because those vibrations will interfere in your life, which is why it's really important at this stage to do as much as you can to be as good of a person as you can possibly be. Does that make sense? Are you good with that? Yeah? Turn to the person and say, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. I could do that. I could do that. So, all right. So since the soul is energy, let's look at energy in two parts, and then we're going to do a meditation. High energy and low energy. High energy and low energy. Today, Santosh just changed the lights in my office, and it was really a very dim energy, and I just used to feel like dim. And when you changed the wattage in the office, it was just bright. And I said, this is what I want. I just want brightness. So think about being people with a lot of brightness. How will you feel when you're with people who are bright. You're going to feel bright. Isn't that easy? So when you're with very bright people, your energy will be very high. When your energy is very high, this is what's happening in your subconscious as a vibration. Love, the energy of peace, purity, wisdom, and joy is at the base of your character. It's at the deepest aspect of your personality. I want you to imagine an iceberg. And at the bottom of the iceberg, right? The real iceberg content is at the bottom, not what you see at the top. So I want you to imagine that in your deepest recording, in your subconscious, are these vibrations that are sitting there. You are an energy that vibrates love. You vibrate peace. You vibrate purity. You vibrate wisdom. The only issue that you're having with the emanation of these qualities is that you're doing it sometimes, not all the time. Would you agree? Yeah, right. So what actually takes this vibration away from emanating through my words, through my eyes, through the choices I make, through what I listen to, with the way that I walk, with the way that I dress, the way that I comb my hair, the way that I relate to human beings in my life, what is interfering with not allowing this high vibrational energy to flow through the soul more often is an acronym that I use all the time. People always say, Sister Jenna, don't you have anything new to say? I go, no. Truth is truth. You don't have to change it. But if you hear truth over and over again, it will start to change you. So why I look at algae as such a really important component in disturbing us being always emanating these pure vibrations is that anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego is also a vibration that is coming through the soul. And it comes through the way that we speak. If you speak to somebody very harsh, they will recognize, oh, he's so arrogant, or she was angry, wasn't she? Some people can talk to you with controlling, manipulative ideas or words because they want to control you. So they speak with you in a way that is manipulative. And you can sense it, but you really don't know what to do with it because they're smiling as they're trying to manipulate you. Oh, yeah. Would you like to go left instead of right? And left was a pit. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to be really careful about these individuals because some of this energy flows through us so naturally right now. There was a time when all of the high vibration was coming out of the soul's expression naturally. Right now, the vibrations of high expression has reduced itself so much. Nancy, come up front. And right now, what's really very rampant in our expression is algae. And that's why many philosophers have said we're only using maybe 3 to 5% of our brain's capacity. We're not really using our deepest potential. I ask you, are you living the life really fully for you? Are you really fully living your life? That means you're using every moment you have, every breath you take, you're using it in service, to give, to share, to be generous, to offer. And if you're not, what are you doing with it? Is something holding you back? Now, when we put all of this vibration together, we can call it the big F word. Fear. When all of this vibration is sitting inside of our subconscious, we're afraid. We're actually afraid of shining this light so bright because we're not even sure if we're going to be able to sustain it, maintain it. We might even end up losing it. But I'll tell you this, it's better to go for it and lose it than not go for it at all. And I can guarantee you that it's most important because you have no idea what your future holds. You just might be the light bearer that wakes up the whole world. Hopi Indians say you might be the one that the world is waiting for. So don't wait for someone to come and rescue you, but you might be the one that will be your rescuer. All right? So now when we're meditating, our effort in meditation is to get rid of this vibration and amplify this vibration back. Do you understand? So the real reason you're meditating isn't to stop thinking, isn't to find a guru, isn't to chant a mantra, isn't to use beads, isn't to listen to great music, isn't to keep running after a million people to find out what they're up to and what they can offer you. But the real purpose of the benefit of meditation is to transform this negative, familiar vibration in my personality and to come back to this personality, which is who I really am, my God-given self, to raise this vibration so high that others around me have to raise theirs too. So in our Raj Yoga meditation classes, we call these both high and low energies, and I want you to get used to this word. We call them sanskaras. Remember this word over and over again. It's a very beautiful Sanskrit word, and it has a lot of deep meaning to it. So when you're meditating, you are actually focusing on transforming your sanskaras. Psychologist calls it your subconscious. We can also say it's your deepest personality trait. But what you're doing in Raj Yoga meditation is transforming sanskaras, because you and I both know we are not where we want to be. We're not fully in the place we want to be. We don't fully feel completely in that state of happiness and freedom and mental empowerment that we want to be. And we can't keep fooling ourselves and just say it's a journey, it's a journey, it's a journey. It's not just a journey, but what am I doing on my journey is my question. It's bigger than a journey. But what am I doing on my journey is the question we should ask ourselves. Does that make sense? Okay, I know we're all on a journey. We're all on a journey. Some of us are very peaceful, some of us are very loud, some of us are very funny, some of us are very wise, some of us are very naughty. Yeah, we're all on a journey, but what am I doing? So in this first lesson of Raj Yoga meditation, your focus when you go inwards, which I will guide you shortly, to meditate on you, you're no longer just going for your shanti. Shanti will emerge in your personality when you reduce your algae. Shanti will emerge in your personality when you have reduced your algae. There's no other way to get around it. Only unless you stay sleeping for years, or if you die, or if you keep waiting on and on and on for another 40, 50 years, can you expect a little bit of the algae to reduce. The algae is a thought form. It's a thought form that you've gotten so accustomed to and has been validated by the media. The thought form has also been validated by your parents. The thought form has been validated by your friends, your relatives, your beloveds, the books you read, the music you hear. You hear songs that tell you, I can't live without you. Who said? I have. So do I want to hear music that keeps telling me I can't live without someone? Or do I want to hear songs that say, I survived you and it was such a great journey, thank you? Do you understand? You see that we're so indoctrinated to feed the thought form of algae, we don't even know how deep our peacelessness has become. We only recognize how peaceless we've become when we no longer can sustain our peacelessness and it reaches a very optimum level. And we find ourselves going, what did you just do? Who told you to take that away from me? When really some of the things that we can no longer control are tested, when the things we can no longer control are tested, you will see how peaceless you have been. You can see how high you can get angry. You can see how deep your ego is. You will also be able to recognize the depth of your attachment and what it's doing to you. So, as we're meditating, the most important aspect to focus on in Raja Yoga meditation is to recognize that your destination in Raja Yoga meditation is to amplify the quality of peace through your expression. What the world needs now is peaceful people. And I don't mean peaceful people sitting down doing nothing. I'm talking about peaceful people when they walk, when they say hello to you, when they sit in a meeting with you, when they make choices, when they cook with you, when they eat with you, when they laugh with you, when they play with you. Those kinds of energies of people. I just got back from India with thousands of us on the mountaintop, literally thousands of us on the mountaintop, and everyone is peaceful, but yet they're happy. I have the proof. You can be peaceful, you can be in a community, and you can still change the world, and you can make big things happen. Did you know that the Brahma Kumaris has the largest solar thermal system in the world? Did you know it has the largest solar thermal cooking system that cooks for 30,000 people, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the world? Did you even know they have the largest auditorium built within less time than ever before historically in the world? Did you know it's the only organization that has the same class in 9,000 branches around the world and no one's fighting about it? I can go on and on and on. Peaceful people get things done because they honor the sanskaras that are coming from a higher vibration. When you start to elevate your vibrations, you start to attract people who have elevated vibrations. And the reason why we don't have everybody in our lives that's elevated is because we still go in and out with our sanskaras. And so what we're aiming to do in Raja Yoga meditation is to stabilize the growth of this vibration and to really destabilize and really reduce the expression of this energy. Does that make sense? Right? Okay. So now here's what we're going to do when we start meditation, and we'll try one little practice shortly. The first thing that you do when you go into meditation, I want you to have absolutely no expectations. Can you do that for me? That's an easy one, right? Right? I want you to have absolutely no expectations when you first begin to meditate. For those of you who are expert meditators, still, I want you to really have no expectations, right? And now the second thing I'd like you to consider is what I've just told you. I want you to play back. I want you to literally play back what you just heard. And you decide for yourself, you discern for yourself, does this make sense, what she's told me? Am I really this energy behind my eyes? Is there a struggle between my high vibration or higher self or my lower energy? Am I really battling with me? Is it really about me? Or is it really about my husband, my wife, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, the government, the politics, the Democrats, the Republicans, the environment, my mother-in-law, my father, my friend, my boss, my supervisor? Is really all these issues about them, or is it about me? Think about that. So the second thing you want to do when you go into meditation is to play back you. Think about where your life is right now. How are you? How are your finances? How are your relationships? How is your health? How's your mind? Are you positive? Are you one of those people that you've got everything but you're not happy? Are you one of those people, you have absolutely little and nothing, but you're the happiest little beaver on the planet? Is your mind healthy? And what's the definition of a healthy mind? You can take the most negative situation and find the positive in it. That's when you know your mind is healthy. People think mental illness is that you have to wait until somebody actually comes into a building and do something horrific. Mental illness is every time you get upset, angry, jealous, critical, judgmental, when you complain. And if you keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again, where it becomes your norm, but you want to feel like this, but you've been feeding your norm, but you want to feel like this, is that mentally well? That's not so mentally well. And I mean this with all respect, because I'm with you on this journey, okay? I'm not saying you, I'm really saying all of us. I want us to really break this down. And now you're getting a little bit of an idea of what the next 2 weeks will be like. Is this okay with you? Are you all right? Okay. All right, so now, your first thing, no expectation. Second step, I want you to play back what you've just heard. And I want you to go back in your life. So as we pause for a moment of silence, and I guide you into a meditation, before I start speaking, I'm going to ask you to just do this. I'm not going to have any expectations, right? But I'm going to think about, where am I in my life? How are things going for me? Financially, with my relationships, and you just want to think about it, like, is it okay? Or can it be tweaked? Can it be a little bit better than the way that it is right now? All right? Now, here's the final part, because now this is where your meditation, relationship, and process come. So, what sanskar do I need here? What sanskar do I need to feel a little better? Remember which are the sanskars, right? Because we can identify that these are the sanskars that are taking away our peace and our happiness. And these are the sanskars that are really our true nature. And if we can get them to 100%, we're going to be okay. And we'll be the ones that are going to bring light to the world. And we'll be the ones that leave a legacy with everyone behind, that we just say, see you later. Take care. Om Shanti. You leave your legacy of light with every encounter that you just say goodbye to. Got it? Are there any questions before we go into a meditation? All right, great. So I want you to just sit up for a little bit, relax, take a deep breath, inhale and exhale. And Santosh, if you can play me some music for a little, just instrumental. Turn the lights down here. Just a little instrumental music for me. And just contemplate a little bit on what was shared in the first lesson, like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Take your time and just go through those first few steps that I just offered, and then I'll take us on a little journey in a few minutes. Play back your life. How are you? is your financial situation right now? Are you at peace with it? On a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest that it's okay, how are you doing? How are your relationships? Is there anyone in your life that whenever you think of them or see them or speak about them, your love stops? Is there 1, 2, 5, 10? And what about other people? Do you sense that on a scale from 1 to 10, their love stops for you when they come in front of you? What's that about? How's your health? Are you taking care of your body? Are you drinking well? Are you exercising? Are you moving it more? Have you put the right food in your system? Are you taking care of your chariot, your instrument? Are you keeping it clean? What about your mind? Are you capable of making the worst situation into something golden? Finding the jewel in it, the beauty in it? Are you positive in the way you think about yourself and others around you? Are you positive from your heart? Do you mean it when you speak well of someone else? Speak well of yourself. Let's take a little moment. Focusing your attention behind your eyes, you're aware that your whole world, everything that you've become, is behind your eyes, sitting in the soul. Your Shanti, your peace is waiting for you. And right now it just basically needs you to remember who you are. A soul, a being of energy, of light, capable of emanating love, the energy of peace and purity, very frequently. I have the capacity to express the best of who I am as much as I want. Just have to pay attention. Because some of those sanskaras has a way of interfering in my peace. It's so important for me to identify what's my strongest positive sanskar. Is it love? Is it wisdom? Is it peace? It's most powerful in me. Which one? Let me identify with it right now. And feed that. Now I'd like you to simply just settle. No need to have any more thoughts. Just pause, just wait. And observe what feelings, what thought emerges now. And just keep a mental note. If you feel like writing it down, write it down. If it's really important for you. For now, keep a mental note. What comes up in your stillness? Take a deep breath, inwards and outwards. Breathe in deeply and exhale. Allow your mind and your feelings to just appreciate where you are right now in your life. Just bring the energy of appreciation forward. The kind of a special acceptance that I'm gonna be okay. And I'm so open and ready for even another version of myself. In your silence, as you start to come back into the room, emerge this gentle, peaceful smile about you. Kind of like this appreciation for you where you are on the journey. Like, I'm gonna be okay. I've gotten a tool to fix, or to not really fix, but to beautify certain aspects about myself. All right, take a deep breath, inhale and exhale again. Feel free, if you wish, to write down what your mental note was, whatever came up for you in the meditation. And in the meditation that you just did, as you can see, it's a guided meditation, it's a contemplative meditation. Why it's so important for us in Raj Yoga meditation to take you into a guided practice of meditation is because 24/7 pretty much you're in connection or relationship with other people. I don't think it's really useful for you to feel an absence of thoughts. I don't think it's healthy to get into a mode of the practice of an absence of thought. I think it's important to begin to practice having thoughts that generate the motivation, the motive and the intention of these sanskaras. So the more I'm able to apply the sanskaras of this expression, it becomes clearer to me I'm definitely going to experience more Shanti. If I don't apply in action, in thought, in expression, in vision, in choices, the sanskaras of love and peace and purity and wisdom, then I'm not giving that original nature of my personality a chance to be empowered. And so if I'm not generating thoughts, bringing into words these vibrations, coming into action with these vibrations, then these vibrations are going to have a stronger presence It is the law. And so what we want to do in the meditations and when you're walking, moving around, when you get up from here tonight, you get your bag, you get your notebooks, you go to the bookstore, you go into the quiet room. The consistency of your meditation is about where are your thoughts when you're in action. It's not just when you're sitting down you're meditating, but also when you're up and about, where are you? What are you churning? What are you contemplating? What are you nulling over in your consciousness? All right? So I'm going to pause here for a little bit. Is that all right? Tell me what's happening inside of you. What are your feelings, if you have any? If you don't, I'll honor it and we can close off with the meditation. But what I do want you to play back what you have really taken, because in every one of the sessions that we're going to do together, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's always going to go back to Hugh. Every session is going to go back to, what are you doing with yourself? Where are you going? Who are you being? What's influencing you? What do you wish to influence? Okay? Is that good? All right. So, our aim is to get back to Shanti. We really are living energies, the soul. Your focus now in meditation will be to go behind your eyes. If you really need a deep, deep, simple reference, you can just imagine the self being a point of light. That's just to help you to just maybe be a little bit more focused if you wish. Point of light, you just can go back there and just focus a little bit more. So now you know where to begin with your meditation. You know where to go. You don't have to go outside of you to find yourself now. Now you're going to turn your attention inward and you're going, well, where do I go? And if you really want me to be very, 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 very specific, I can do my best to draw you a diagram to give you an idea. This is your brain. These are your eyes. The soul is sitting right there by the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus. And so just to think about whatever you are feeling from here, you're sending that vibration out there, and you're sending that vibration throughout your whole body. So if you're feeling your original worth, which is what I call the pure sanskaras, if you're feeling that vibration, can you imagine what you're emanating through your eyes and through your whole body? Isn't that amazing? So when you can amplify that vibration, that's your work, that's your benefit of meditation. That means meditation is of benefit for you, because the Latin derivative for the word medere is to heal. So if you're healing the spirit, it means you're reducing this force. And if that vibration is what's coming through here, then imagine what we're doing to the vibration and imagine what we're doing to our bodies. That's why right now meditation is really not a fad. It's been around for a very long time. It's just that sometimes when you bring things like this that are so mystical and so powerful, people go, oh, did you know meditation, mindfulness is a fad? Please tell people it's not. It's been around for thousands of years. I just think that we've moved away from being more meditative as people, and we're now being ushered to return to a meditative state. All right? Okay, so your homework assignment tonight and tomorrow and until we meet on Wednesday. Don't you love homework? I love homework. But you love homework. So, homework assignment is be an observer. From tonight to Wednesday night, I just need you to just do one practice. I don't need you to judge yourself. I don't need you to give it a name or a title. Feel free, you can write it down and tell me how you feel. But for the next few days, I just want you to observe. Just get into this practice of observing yourself more. And if you can apply a sense of detachment, it's even better yet. The reason why I want you to practice being a detached observer is that the more you practice being a detached observer, you'll be able to develop your discerning abilities, and you'll be able to develop the ability to be more honest with yourself. A discerner and an observer of the self can't lie to themselves. And like my friend Carolyn May says all the time, liars will never heal themselves. Because you're the one that has to tell yourself the truth to get yourself over the hump. So this is where we're really in this state. We're in a beautiful time period, friends. We're in the most incredible time in history. I really believe it. We are actually being made for this time. We're being called to meditate. We're being called to spiritually elevate ourselves more, because the time is actually pushing us to remember just how absolutely amazing we are. And I mean that. So if you are an observer and you're detached and you're observing, you will start to begin to see just how beautiful your presence can be, and how much you can be a server. And then you are able to identify the legacies that you're leaving behind. But one of the best things that happen when you become a detached observer is that you can see the intrusion of algae when it comes in. You can go, oh, that doesn't feel right. Whereas before, you were just all enjoying algae like you were in the swimming pool. Oh, this is good. And then when you got out of the swimming pool, it didn't feel so great. You know, it felt chilly and cold. Now you're doing the opposite. So now you're getting into the pool here when it feels really good, and when it starts to feel too cold or too hot, you're going, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel this is who I am anymore. Benefits of meditation. Wonderful? Perfect? Wasn't that easy? I know I got you guys stumped, but you know what? I have made a commitment and a promise to myself that anyone who is with me or in front of me, I'm not here to entertain you or give you fluff. I don't have time for that. There are so many people who can do that for you. So please go, and you can pay a lot of money and be entertained and enjoy that. But when you come into this land, into this space, we're really about the change. Because the world will not change unless you change. So we can't wait on anyone else to change right now. We're going to have to change ourselves first. All right? All right. So let's take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Send yourself a pure vibration and a pure thought to the person next to you. And Santosh, can you play the Letting Go meditation CD for me? Track? So I want you to start to practice to send your pure feelings and pure wishes to a person that's close to you. When you go to work tomorrow or you go home tonight, before you say hello to the folks in your house, I want you to send your pure wishes to whomever's in your home before you get there. If you have nobody living in your home and you have an animal, send your pure wishes to your pet. If you don't have a pet and you don't have anyone that you live with at home, send your pure wishes to the environment in your space. I guarantee the minute you walk in, you feel it. It's that powerful. All right, so I'll play with you a nice meditation video on the back, and thank you for your incredible time and energy and presence and nobility and your honoring of hearing me speak and share with you today. But do know our purest feelings for you is that you take care of yourself and you get yourself strong so that nothing and no one can deceive you. Okay? All right. Have a good night. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you and who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you, and you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time,